Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Emmy Banshee. Welcome to the show. Apologize for the delay. Everything seemed to go wrong around here today, so my bad and just circumstances bad. All right. So anyway, I am rearing to go. I just have to. I think I've got everybody's question that posted a question. So we'll get the show going. It's with hard kind of for me to keep up as the show goes on, but that's why I wanted to get as many of them in advance as I could. Because going back and looking for them can be kind of tricky sometimes. All right. Whatever comes out, you're easy, CJ. You got it. All right. I'll be using the Season of the Witch Yule Oracle. See, just going to pull one from the top today. Ah, and it is falling in love. The keywords are losing control, connection, and partnership. The thorns of roses rip open the heart only for thy petals to bleed into thy soul. Love is a beautiful feeling. It makes you giddy and you see life through a lens of beautiful optimism and joy. You can experience this feeling in all areas of your life. You can have a love for a partner and family, but also a creative project, a memento, and of course, love for yourself. And let's not forget our pets, right? You are being guided to find new ways to fall in love with your life. Perhaps now is a time to welcome a new hobby, try a new skill, or seek love by meeting new people. Remain open minded, for love can come in unexpected ways. You may consider trying something you typically avoid or saying yes to invitations you usually turn down. You may find yourself in the unexpected company of a potential soulmate or be introduced to something that truly sets your soul on fire. If you are already in a loving relationship, pulling this card is a sign of a renewed strength in your partnership. And, I like what it says here too. And for those of you out here who are still looking for a love in your life, between a person, right? Maybe just by inviting more love into your life by doing things that you love, being around people that you love, sharing love and kindness with others could bring you, the love that you are craving. Maybe eventually that will bring the right person you'd hoped for towards you.
'Tis the season.
'Tis the season. So that's what we have for everybody. Good
Hi,
luck with
Angel.
that. Hey, Angel. Good to see you. All right, so I'm posting the list as I have it. If I've missed anybody, please let me know. I haven't been paying attention the last few minutes, but that's what I have. And so Jackie will be first. Okay, Angel wants the usual. We will do that. Jackie's question is about a past life reading. I know Mr. O has a plan on how he wants to do that, so I'm leaving that to him.
Okay, the first card is Temperance upright. The second card is the Nine of Cups upright. And the third card is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Are you going to just let me go with it?
Well, it's your decision on the past life reading, so you go first. All right.
You know, anytime I ever ask you, you say, let's just throw 3 cards.
You go first. You didn't ask this time, so I figured you had a plan. All right.
I'm just doing what we always do. Okay, so there's a past life where maybe things were very much in balance, moderate, where you feel you did not want for much because you had your wish in a certain sense. You had emotional contentment. But the Nine of Pentacles sort of says that maybe you still didn't feel exactly as protected or as safe as you wanted or as comfortable as you wanted. There was a moderation and a balance in appreciation towards what you really desired, but it didn't feel like it was totally the life for you. In some respects, it didn't fit on you as well. I always wonder if like you were a nun in a convent or something like that. It might have helped if I had the Lenormand put out there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What did I do with that? It's right here. Okay, yeah, maybe that'll give you something. Are you done for now, though, or you want to wait till the Lenormand? Maybe I'll let you finish.
No, you can go ahead.
Well, Jackie, I unfortunately don't see much about you as a person and your physical self, but I can make some observations about this type of life, absolutely, with the cards we have here. And when I see the Nine of Pentacles reversed, I feel you were a person who is always striving for more in life. I feel you came from a fairly well-to-do background from what I can see here. Nine of Cups is golden energy. The Nine of Pentacles, whether upright or reversed, kind of means things are okay, but when it's reversed, you seem to always be striving for more, for more. And when I see the Nine of Cups there, I feel that's true. You were always aspiring to things, which makes me believe you came from an affluent family. I think here that you overall had a really good temperament. You were very fair with people, and you yourself took good care of yourself. I feel there was a lot of balance here. My personal feeling by looking at this is coming from a place of affluence, and with these positive cards, it looks to me as though you might have been able to afford to take care of yourself very well. And so you probably lived, I feel here, you probably lived till old age. You probably died of natural causes in this life. I see nothing here that points to anything, but hey, the Lenormand sometimes tackles these issues. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Here you go. Clock tower. Well, it doesn't. I think there is something else I can say about the Lenormand, though. Maybe I should let Mr. O see if he sees it. What do you see?
So it's like what I said, you were a nun. In this clock tower, you were cloistered in this institution. Okay, I don't know if that's true.
You know what I see? I see you married a friend. You married somebody that was very close to you in your life. Somebody who remained very
Being
loyal
a
to
nun
you.
is a marriage, isn't it?
Maybe, but I get the feeling that this was somebody too who you may have met through your work in some way. I really don't know if I can get a beat at all on a time frame for this life. I feel here that maybe, or maybe this is somebody that you met through connections at a school or some learning institution, higher learning institution of some sort. Now, depending on when in history this was, it was a lot harder for women to get college education and stuff like that. And so maybe this was a high school, or early education sweetheart, somebody you met, through some institution, perhaps a church. I could give him that. I really don't sense the nun thing here. I could be wrong. He could be right. I really think you were some wealthy family. You came from a place of wealth and status.
Well, to some degree, back in more remote times, wealthy families sent daughters that they could not necessarily marry off to other wealthy people to a nunnery. That happened a bit. I don't know why, but I did pick up this kind of vibe, when I saw the Nine of Pentacles mostly. But I'll give you what you said too, because I kind of like that,
Hi, Kara.
the idea that maybe there was, a marriage through some sort of connection. I mean, and that would be another thing too about elitist rich families of maybe a few hundred years ago, that they sometimes did have people betrothed to second cousins or other people they were related to. That certainly happened in royalty, which also accounted for why there were certain kinds of uh, bad physical birth defects that were spread amongst the royalty. Anyways, I think I'm kind of tangenting.
I'm almost feeling like maybe a early or late mid 1800s or late 1800s vibe to this, which I know, depending on where you are in the world, that wasn't like an ideal time for some women, right? Victorian stuff and all of that. But I don't know. I just feel there was some sense, and of course, upper classes, there might have been a little bit more wiggle with, some of those things. Huh?
Oh,
Maybe.
some of what things?
Well, status maybe brought more educational opportunities
Oh, right.
or
Yes.
opportunities to women that other women may not have had. That's all.
Okay. I
and
see.
and at least the ability to connect with other interesting people, because yeah, they probably wanted to marry off their women to well established wealthy families. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm getting from this reading. I hope this gave you something, Jackie.
Jackie says that there's some similarities with her own Lenormand reading.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll be interested in hearing more. Great. All right. Good luck with that. And we are on Lena now. I added Kara to the list. Lena. Spirit reading for the next 2 months. I'll get my deck. All right. Let's start with the winter season tarot.
You're welcome. I like it. It's a rainbow kitty cat scarf. And one of my berets, a purple one.
I'm doing 2 and 2 on this one. Yep.
Should I have?
No, I think yours could be overall. I
Right.
think it could be.
Thank you for asking.
No problem. You didn't really say much about the past life reading you were going to do. The
Hmm.
Winter Witch.
Well, I didn't. I just read the
Can you say
question.
that again for a moment? Thank you.
You heard that right. I
Yeah.
just read the question. It wasn't about making a
At
distinction.
first, I thought the Winter Witch was the high priest, the high priestess, but it's actually the magician. So the Winter Witch is the magician reversed. Oh, how funny that! And believe me, these have been shuffled and used numerous times. The high priestess is next, upright. Funny. Okay, so that is for the next 2 months. So I'm assuming it's December and January still. That's what I'm going to go with. So December, I feel here your intuition is really, really going to be on target this month. But in order, Lena, to utilize it to make magic happen, you really have to put more effort into what it is your gut is telling you it's time to do. I think here that the magician is saying maybe you're ill prepared for what needs to take place here, or maybe you just haven't been putting in the effort. But I think your gut is trying to tell you you are ready for some sort of move or change to be made in your life. But the magician is not, it's almost as if maybe there's a part of you that might not be ready for this yet.
They call that putting the horse before the cart kind of
I
thing,
like that.
where maybe you're feeling this impetus or this energy that wants to move you towards it, but you're not really ready yet either because of a skill set, perhaps, or a way that you see yourself doing the skill. Something is sort of inhibiting you or just doesn't quite align with that desire or that feeling that you have. Hi, Jamie's.
That's for December. For
Uh-huh.
January, we have the Ace of Winter Wands reversed and the Apprentice or Page of Winter Wands reversed. Wow.
I thought you said the apprentice was the queen
No,
yesterday.
that's the Artisan.
Oh, the artisan. Whoops,
Yeah,
you're right.
that's
Yeah.
okay. I always know when I'm connecting better with a deck when I remember their word associations when they change the names. Oy. Anyway, so that's kind of an interesting combination here, Lena. I think here that even in January, it's hard to get something off the ground and started. I think you really need to spend more time in these next few months. Spirit is really telling you come up with a plan in life, come up with a plan of what you want to do and accomplish. And maybe even come up with a few plans. Start small. Start small with things that you can easily accomplish and then move on from there because it looks to me like it's really, really hard to get something moving this month. You may not, there may be false starts, there may be some hope, and it may not, things may fall through for you. What do you see?
January does have some kind of either delays or some things that just aren't quite hitting that. And I'm wondering if that page of Wands reverse says there's information you're waiting for or somehow to be drawn more into this thing through some information or notice, and it's just not quite coming to you either. Like maybe somebody else needs to be kick started into doing this too. It sounds almost like maybe there's a collaborative process that needs to engage too, and you need to be able to move that along as well.
Well, I see that Lenormand there, and it's really interesting. It fits quite nicely with both cards, both.
Okay, so the first one is the fireplace, which is the sun, and the second one is the North Pole, which is the crossroads.
And so, what I have to say here, Lena, is that crossroads in the sun indicates to me that these 2 months really, Spirit is saying you're at a crossroads right now as to how to achieve success in your life. Whether it's a successful relationship, starting a family, doing getting a new job, getting more money, whatever the case may be, you just seem to be standing at that crossroads still. And I think that's really evident by both, sets of cards we've had for you here.
I like that. The crossroads leaning towards the sun is saying that through this period in December and January, you may realize that there is a third way, in a sense, that there is maybe some other choice or decision to make that might bring you more towards knowledge, success, etc. So
So
good luck
it's
with it.
interesting to me. It doesn't say that success is going to elude you forever.
No,
I think what the crossroads is saying is, once you really come up with, a place to truly focus, sometimes the magician reverse speaks about a lack of focus as well. Once you find the right path to focus on, success can happen for you, but you've really got to work your way there and use these 2 months ahead in order to do so.
already.
Good luck with that. All right, we are on Libra, and Libra's question is what's coming towards me. Thank you. Do you like this deck?
I do.
Okay.
Hi, Libra.
Okay, what's coming towards Libra?
Hello to you.
I feel like I'm bald with my hair pulled back. Maybe that wasn't the look I was looking for.
Is it cold by you, Libra? It's cold and snowy. It's
Ah,
not super cold like it was about 2 days ago,
it's
but it's still
actually 31 now, according to my, but and it feels like 31. I mean, so that is an improvement,
that's an improvement.
but it's only a short-lived improvement. We're going to go cold again this week, and snow is in the forecast every single day.
All right, what's coming towards you? And it's justice.
Upright.
37. Okay, you're a little warmer than us, but that's cold still. Justice is upright. So there may be something that amounts to an important decision. It's possible that it has something to do with legalisms. Maybe you have a court appearance for a traffic ticket or something, but not necessarily. It could just be about your own important autonomy, things that you really need to decide for yourself. And so maybe you find what is coming towards you is a definitive period where some decision or some course of action must be taken.
Well, I agree. This is what's coming towards you is a moment of, well, of two things, maybe, Libra, a moment of truth for you, where maybe, you just have to come clean on something, or maybe that somebody else has to, justice or some type of situation needs to be righted, and or some big decision on your part has to be made. Maybe I can get a better picture as the cards unfold. So why is,
Right. And
yeah,
it could be about fairness too in general, that, fairness is meted out by you or fairness is meted to you. Anyways, why is this important?
what you got?
It's the Chariot reversed.
Okay. The Chariot reversed. Well, why is this important? Because I think something can't move constructively forward until it's addressed, until that justice card is addressed.
Right. And furthermore, if it's not addressed, there may actually have to be a retreat of some sort, a sort of losing the ground that you may have been making or had made. So it is important really to figure out what these decisions are or what this course of fairness or justice needs to take. Otherwise, you may fall back.
I like that. So where are things headed?
And it's the Five of Pentacles, and it's upright. Well, where they are headed, is it possible that maybe the retreat moves you to a situation, or that the possible retreat could move you to a situation where you have to maybe discern carefully who you need to be around and who you don't, where you are welcome and where you should maybe not necessarily be at.
Where things are headed, this is tricky for me. I kind of feel as though the Five of Pentacles reversed, it could be that whatever's involved in this situation, whether it's you or someone else, uh, there's this sense of feeling isolation or alone in
Ooh.
in what's going on here, or the aftermath of what happens here. There's also this possibility I can't rule out that maybe there's some loss associated with this. I'm thinking of in terms of like paying for a parking ticket or something, some penalty on something that wasn't taken care of. I mean, that's highly possible in this situation too, and it has to be righted. Um, but it could be something else. It could be something in an interpersonal relationship where, somebody has said or done the wrong thing and there are consequences. And I think there's going to be some consequences here. Perhaps you will isolate yourself from someone who just has wronged you in some way. Or, it could be vice versa here.
Right. It could just be too that, having this isolation is just a momentary way of kind of dealing with the whole thing, just sort of saying, I'm doing a major chill here, a major, timeout.
Mr. O must have been feeling the Lenormand because I think he may be onto something here.
Stars. And the kitten, which is the
So this
dog.
could involve a close friend or a family member or somebody you deal with, associate with. And what it's saying, I think, with the kitten and the star here is that, things will right themselves in time. Keep hope alive. This is only temporary, whatever this spat or this situation of injustice or unfairness is, and it is likely going to blow over in time. Maybe that Five of Pentacles is actually here for a better reason than I thought, in that maybe you do need some time to kind of pull apart from this person and think things through a little bit, each of you, to come to terms with it. And I think things will work out in the end.
I do too, and I feel like it's definitely shown by the Lenormand. Um, the idea of the dog says that there is a considerable amount of loyalty involved here. And so it may be that, like we're both saying, is this may be just a temporary parting, or not even a parting, just sort of a timeout kind of thing before you can come back in a better attitude and position. All right, you're welcome.
Steady is up, and Steady says, ran into Nicole yesterday. Did she see me? What's going on with our connection? Steady, I know this. You probably have been to our show before, am I right? And so I'm trying to figure out what name you had in the past because everybody's names have seemed to have changed here.
Right, I guess we're asking, is it possible we know you by a different name?
I think we do. All right. Well, we're going to read for you either way.
Of course.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. What did I want to use? The Yule. And it's kind of bugging me because I think I know who you are, but I forgot the name. It's like I think so. It's really weird how YouTube did that, or people decided to change their names. I'm not sure what's going on here. All right. The Five of Wands is reversed. That could be a good thing, maybe. But it's followed by the Star reversed. And then we have the Six of Canes or Swords upright. Yeah, interesting, eh?
In our Lenormand, it's the poinsettias, that's the lily.
That's the lily.
The lily.
Good call.
And the mistletoe is the heart.
Right. Really interesting here reading. I think that maybe with the Five of Wands reversed, any kind of conflict or disagreements or things that might have pulled you apart, they may be lessening now. Let me just say that, Steady. They may be lessening now. Uh, but the star, I think, reversed here is saying, but don't get your hopes up too high about the connection. I think there'll always be a connection, and I'm going to get to that when I get to the Lenormand. But I feel here that don't get your hopes up too high about this right now. Because the Six of Swords is saying to me they may be moving in a slightly different direction in their life. I get the feeling just by the progression of the cards there.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing here, because I'm looking at the first part of your question, which is, did Nicole see you? And I think the underlying idea is that they may have, but maybe they didn't want you to think
Ah,
that they saw
I
you.
like
And
that.
some of these other cards kind of look like that, especially with that last card, the Six of Swords. It looks to me like maybe they are taking a different direction, or possibly that. The Five of Wands
Yes,
reversed
yes.
maybe indicates too that there is some movement of some sort. And it looks like it's probably based on personality interactions between you and them and or others. And so there's a sense maybe that they're not totally comfortable. So that could play into the idea that they didn't want to appear like they saw you or that they acknowledged you. I was going to
I
stop. I
like
didn't
that.
really do the star, but it sort of goes along with it all.
Well, oh, did you want to? It's,
Just the idea, I think that
the
you're
sun is
asking
out.
about their connection, and so the star reversed, could indicate that it's not exactly um firm or bright.
I love the sun is just shining on that. It's really cool. And it's nice to see the sun out. It was really gloomy yesterday and
Yeah.
this morning. I look at the heart and the poinsettia, and I will say this, Steady. I think there'll always be some feelings for you, some caring about you with the heart and the poinsettia there. They care about you, but I'm looking at the rest of the cards and thinking it's just because they like you. They like you as a person, but I'm not sure I see anything deeper going on here.
It could be that maybe there was this earlier in your interactions, but maybe it has evolved now, not in a way that both of you have seen it evolving, that it's not that they're moving beyond you, but that they're looking at you in a different way than maybe they did before. And so it could be saying that you are more firmly in the friend zone if that's what you were before, or that
Yeah.
the possibility that it was moving towards something maybe more intrapersonal is not there, and it's because it's moving into more of a friend zone.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think that. I think that's possible. So,
And that's what happens sometimes.
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck, Steady.
All right. So we are on Spear Connections now, and I do have a question. General question, what does Spirit want me to know?
Okay. I'm going to use this tarot, the Tarot of the Animal Lords. What does Spirit want you to know?
Oh, goodness. Did my tea finally cool off enough to drink? This thing keeps it so hot. Peppermint tea here. Ah, ah, nice.
I'm going to be thirsty.
All right.
All right.
Doing my reading?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first card is the Empress reversed. And that first card then says that maybe Spirit says you're in a really fertile and productive period, but you have to also make sure that you are acknowledging the other parts of yourself that need care at this time, or just need something that, sustains you. That Spirit sees you really being very productive, and maybe also expressing how you care for others in your world. And it's all good. Spirit just doesn't want you to forget, to take care of yourself too.
All right, so the Empress reversed. It is time for some self-care. It may be time to figure out what you need to do to get re-inspired to move forward on a project or a goal. Maybe there's something a little bit lacking there. Maybe you're feeling a little unproductive, but it could also be because you really need to focus on yourself right now.
Is it possible that, with the creative juices of the Empress, that maybe you need to work on a personal creative project, even challenging yourself, something you don't do? If you don't write poetry, or if you don't do any kind of drawing or painting, try that. Or something that you feel would really just inspire you with creativity.
Sometimes they say that even just playing games and having fun,
Yes.
with other people like that, playing games will re-inspire and make you more creative. I definitely agree with that. So
So
whatever it takes.
if we haven't told you already, why is this important? And it's the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is upright.
Because you need a little bit more balance there.
You need balance there, yes.
You need to rebalance things in your life so you don't feel too stressed or overburdened or tired or lacking the creativity. Sometimes when we don't give ourselves enough time to unwind and relax more, we end up with that. Hi Zach, we'll get you on the list.
Hi, Zach. We can put you on the list. So, yes, the Two of Pentacles spirit connections does talk about the idea that, you really are needing to have this at this time right now. You may feel, and knowing you, I would feel that, normally this is something that you have going on all the time in a way, but every once in a while, maybe, Spirit is telling you you need a little bit more. Um, there's a hint here, maybe, that it might also be about your connection with animals. So if you have any pets, or if you've been thinking about a pet, this might also be a way of bringing some sort of sense of happiness or balance or something to your life. So it's just something to think about, an inspiration I received there. All right, where will this lead to? And it's the upright Eight of Wands. And that's great. It's like
That is great.
suddenly, not suddenly, but you find you have direction and focus. You realize where your target should be, or you're fully engaged in wanting to pursue that.
Really rebalancing yourself, whether this is work life balance or, your body's physical needs versus your emotional, spiritual needs, etc. Wherever the imbalance is right now, obviously you'll be re-energized if you take care of the situation. Your energy will return, your focus will be better, your mind will be sharper, and you'll be ready to pursue your goals, with more energy and focus and creativity. I like that.
And it's the wreath, which is the wedding ring, the ring. And partridges are birds, whether they're in a pear tree or not.
Well, I'm not sure how to quite put this in with the reading other than to say that, and the wreath is the ring, to commit yourself to what's, I just feel, since the bird is about messages and communication, and you wanted a message from spirit, I'm kind of feeling this is saying, commit yourself to the spirit's message. Commit yourself to this message. Taking care of yourself more, realigning yourself so you're better prepared to, tackle the things that are important to you.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect because, of course, birds in many different contexts, dreams or whatever, have the idea of being messages from a spirit realm or another realm, heaven, however you want to put it. So I
Sure.
think it's saying, commit to that, to this message. And of course, there were birds shown in most of these cards because, of course, I did pick the tarot of the animal lords. So there you go.
Interesting.
So good luck,
Well, I hope
Christine.
that resonated, Christine. Good luck with that. All right. We're on Namira now. Posting. And Namira's question is, we have a baby shower for my daughter on January 3rd. Will my eldest son Gert be there? Will be there too? Wondering how it will be, and if so, how he will behave because he broke the contact. Oh. So let's see if we get a beat on what the shower will be like and if it looks like he will be there. All right. We might have to do a yes no on that part. Will he be there? We'll see. All right. That.
With the Lenormand.
Oh, oops, I put him here. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Shuffle. All right. Well, start off with the Ace of Cups reversed. The Eight of Swords is reversed. And the Three of Pentacles is reversed. Wow, all reversals. Now, the Eight of Swords isn't necessarily bad, but it might play into the way these other two cards have fallen.
Clouds and acorns.
The Clover.
Yeah, and it's facing the dark side of the clouds.
Jeez. Well,
Okay, there's a possibility of something here.
I'm not sure what. Uh, well, if you don't want to, if you're worried about him coming, I think we are going to have to do a yes no on this. It's unclear to me, but there is definitely some unhappiness here because the Ace of Cups is reversed, and I'm kind of concerned about that. Just there's emotions that are unhappy. Maybe there could be some that are angry, but to me, this is more disappointment and unhappiness. So, are you unhappy that he's there? Are you unhappy that he's not there? Is something else about the shower event making you unhappy? Because this was also how would that event go? And I do feel some issues here. But do you want to take that card on the Ace of Cups, or do you
Um,
want to go further?
well, I was gonna, hi Marita.
Hi, Marita. We'll get you on the list.
I was gonna go with some generalisms here because partially, I guess I want to know is is your what is your son's relationship to your daughter exactly? Are they on friendly terms or is there something else going on? Just curious about that. Um, I get the feeling that some of this maybe is more of an evolved worry on your part, and that maybe that Eight of Swords reverse says that you need to come to terms with the idea of this because it is limiting behavior to feel like, you know, his presence means something to whether or not you can be comfortable there. And I understand you might have very good reasons for it. But so part of that is to decide, I think, Nimra, is whether or not you are comfortable with allowing that. Maybe for this time you might be, but maybe you need to think about it more in perspective. Clearly, with the Ace of Hearts, you're worried too that maybe this event could turn into something that is not as happy. You know, the Ace of Heart of Cups reversed could be saying that this would end up being not very happy event or happy feelings about it. And then with the Three of Pentacles reversed, it could be saying too that maybe something needed to be planned better or taken into account with this idea that maybe somebody will need to be more in charge of this in order to possibly handle the blowback that could occur. So I don't think I'm even clearly seeing that he will or won't be there. I think it's dealing more with the idea of how your feelings are reacting with that.
Yeah, it's really, well, we're with the event.
Right.
I think we are going to do a yes no, like I said, but I'm going to try to address some of these other cards. I've been thinking about it here, and it is her event, and I don't know who is putting it on for her, but it just looks as though there's some maybe that Ace of Cups is about some disappointment with the way this was put together or planned, because that Three of Pentacles indicates to me there that somebody is just not happy with the way people work together on planning this, perhaps.
Right. And of course, we don't know the full perspective here, but is it because they were looking at the fact that, oh, they're going to either piss this person off or piss that person off? And sometimes people do things like that because somebody says to them, well, if so and so is going to be there, then I don't want to go. And, crap like that.
Now, I would say the Eight of Swords reversed gives me an idea that it's possible that, Gert may feel that they, more liberated and feeling, like I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to come. Maybe he's, got, his confidence and wants to be a part of it. Maybe he will be there. I'm not sure. But I'm going to hold that off for the moment.
There are some different possibilities
Yeah.
here.
It could be too that, your daughter obviously felt liberated enough and independent enough, because it is her day, to say, I'm not going to tell him not to come. And so she stood up and said, well, I'm not going to tell him not to be there. So that could be what that eight is about as well. When I look at the Lenormand, though, it's rather striking to me that the, the I'm hoping here that maybe this the acorns in this case, which is the clover, could indicate that something occurs that could dispel some of your worries about this situation. Because the clover always makes a card it's paired with a little bit better, and you've got the dark side facing the clover. So you definitely, this will definitely support that idea that maybe some unforeseen event could happen that maybe could keep Gert away. I think that's possibly what it's indicating to me here.
Well, the other thing could be that maybe some of these things might resolve too, just because they're at that point there. If Gert is coming there, is he coming there to confront you or to celebrate, his future nephew or niece being born? So we, maybe none of us, you or us, know exactly what Gert's motives might be or how past interactions with anybody else affect all that.
I feel like it's 50-50 that he could be there, and let's do a yes no now and
Yeah.
see. Do you want to just grab a deck and do the yes no?
Yes, I will. And
I'll
I'm going to
shuffle
use
it.
the Mind's Eye Tarot, which I've been using.
Ah,
So I'll let you shuffle it too. I like this deck.
and I'll cut it for you.
I decided after using it the other night that I wanted to use it more.
It's a nice deck.
It's pretty. You have this one too.
I do.
Yep.
Thank you. And someday I'll bring it out again. And let's see what we get. So I will say there is some disappointment with this event at this point, what we've seen.
And it's a major arcana, so it means good luck, which is basically saying maybe.
Again, it's like 50-50 that he'll be there, but that's the Hanged Man, isn't it?
And it's reversed.
And it's reversed, which makes me think if he feels like going, he's going to go. He's not thinking about anybody else but his own feelings here. He's going to do it because he wants to do it or he doesn't want to do it.
Does he possibly feel that there is some other kind of reason for him to go because he does have to have some sort of communication of some sort? He has to set a certain record straight or he has to make his presence known for some kind of reason.
It's very strange. We can't get a total definite answer on this, but we can say that something about the event is disappointing. So I don't know. If he doesn't show up, maybe somebody else is going to bring up something about, his lack of presence there or something about what's going on, there that might be, not happy.
If he was able to realize that maybe his presence there wasn't really a good thing, he might see that as the sacrifice he makes. But being reversed, it maybe says he doesn't realize that.
I think he doesn't realize that. So he's going to do what he wants to do, regardless of what other people feel.
So you all should be prepared for that, not just yourself, but maybe the in-laws and his sister, your daughter.
So good luck with that. Wow.
Good luck. You'll have to let us know. Of course, we'll be interested in knowing what happened.
Oops, I didn't do that right. Okay, Sile is up, and I didn't see a question. I don't think I have one for Sile.
Sile, do you have a question? We'll give you a moment.
Well, I should double check because I might have missed some at the end. Okay. Could have been a general.
Well, they didn't add it yet. You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome, Christine. So you didn't see one?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So
Okay, I thought it might, but I wasn't totally sure about that spirit connection.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hi, Celia. We can give you a few more minutes, but that's it. We're going to have to move on.
So just going to mention then that we are now up to 857 followers, so we're happy about that. And of course, we will be back next Thursday from 7 to 9 for our show. So check that out. In between, don't forget to look for Goth Tarot on Wednesday, continuing the shadow work that Banshee and I started the week before, which is basically about inner pain and how its denial maybe kind of really messes our autonomy and our ability to really evolve and express ourselves adequately. So it's Goth Tarot at 8 o'clock on Wednesday mornings or whenever you can do that.
Well, I guess Celia is going to lose out because I don't see a
By the
question.
way, do you have a game tonight?
I don't because it was Thursday night. They don't do games that close together usually. It's next week.
All
And I
right.
don't know when it is
Well,
next
it's
week.
possible we'll put you back on if you do show up again. I'm not sure where we're at here.
Well, we're up to. Oh, I lost the number. How did that happen?
Oh,
Oh,
well,
I think we were at 14
15.
or 15. So we could probably take two more. We're going through these pretty well.
All right, so let's move on then from Sile, and it's Sunshine.
I did not put Seeley back on the list.
Okay, we'll wait and see if they show up.
All right, Sunshine is up. And I don't have a question from Sunshine.
I see it. What does Spirit want me to know?
Ah,
So
okay,
that's
I
your
missed
deck,
that
right?
one.
That's your deck, right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, no, wait. I used the Golden Girls last time.
Oh,
We
that's
both
right.
used a deck. It's your
Yeah.
turn.
Well, I'll just go back then and
Yeah.
use one again.
Yep. So I'm going to do my reading.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that Golden Girls deck. I really do. It's fun. It's really cool.
All right, the first card. What does Spirit want me to know? And it's the Five of Cups, and it's upright. So, Spirit may want you to know that you have strong emotional feelings right now for things that you may be thinking, they're not a constant enough in your life. And you're looking at what you have, but you're also sort of thinking about what you don't have. In some ways, you might be thinking about one more than the other. So, the point of this would be realizing that you're not totally without something that maybe you think you're more without.
Well, Spirit is saying that you're dwelling right now on things that opportunities or things in life you feel has passed you by, and you might be feeling disappointed about maybe relationships that didn't work out, or job opportunities, or educational opportunities you didn't capitalize on, or maybe old friends who have come and gone in your life. This is a period of just kind of feeling somber about it all. And I think Spirit here would caution you that it's okay to grieve what can no longer be, but you still have a life to live and a lot of good things in front of you. And I think, a lot of good things remain in your life that maybe you're not paying attention to because you're worried about, you're dwelling on the losses. So, why is this important?
And it's the reversed Queen of Swords.
Because maybe it's not helping you gain clarity and focus, for what you need to do going forward now. When we dwell on when we really think in terms of loss instead of what we can take away from those experiences we had, it's not giving us enough to really help us move forward. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
What is it possible that because of what was lost or what you feel might have been lost, that it affects decisions going forward? That spirit wants you to know there's still something left for you to think about or consider because the decisions you need to make need to consider that rather than not acknowledge or to avoid it. So you need to make a decision about all of that, not just the stuff that you feel is lost. You need to decide about all that. What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I'm just trying to do stuff here and I'm trying to delete something and it wouldn't let me. So
I feel
anyway,
like
you're
we're
on the
getting,
list, Harry. I've got you on the list.
yeah,
Oh no, Angel.
I feel like we're getting a reboot here.
All right, well we'll see you in a few, Angel.
Yeah, you're fine, Ari. Don't worry.
All
Uh,
right. So why is it important? I've already said that. So where are things headed?
and it's the Knight of Swords reversed. Well,
Oh, that's interesting because we just had the queen or the
right.
king, right? The
Mhm.
queen. Um,
It was
well, where things are headed, if you continue to just think more in terms of defeats and failures rather than learning experiences, it's really going to be hard for you to move forward and make good decisions for yourself. You need to clear your head, which I think is evident here as well, and try to think before you act. Don't do any knee jerk reactions because of how, these disappointments made you feel. You need to move forward more practically and with more planning.
Spirit realizes that maybe there will be regret or bad feelings about what you feel you may have lost, but you shouldn't have let it detract you necessarily. The Knight of Swords reversed could be saying pulling back or being more reckless. So it like the Queen of Swords says, it is more incumbent that you make better decisions, that you don't necessarily overreact over this and feel like you could be more reckless because nothing really matters, kind of feeling there. So that's what I feel.
Well, Sunshine, this wasn't the greatest happy reading, and
um,
let's see what we've got here.
It's the Snow
There
Lady.
you are.
You and the mountain.
I just feel like right now you feel like things are too challenging for you. You feel like overwhelmed a little bit, and we can blame in a way that Five of Cups feelings for that. They weigh on you heavy, and maybe they're making you look at life moving forward or the goals that you had been wanting to pursue and have been struggling with more challenging than they actually are.
I think there's a lot of that there. Spirit maybe realizes that there have been a number of challenges. Some of this hasn't been totally, destroying you, but still it leaves you with a lot of pause about whether or not things are going to get a little bit easier moving up the hill. There's things you are trying to move towards. That's the Knight of Swords, but you need to feel more confident about them. And I think that's what the Lenormand is saying is you need to figure out, where your confidence comes from because none of this is necessarily going to get any easier without you tackling it. I have to say that.
This is so crazy. Why is this happening?
All right. So that was Sunshine.
Sorry about that. Oh, wait, maybe it's that. No. Oh, there. Oh my gosh. That is so crazy. I don't know. My computer's gone nuts on me. There we go. Wow. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's what we have for you. I wish you luck with that. It just seems like some heavy feelings right now. And during this time of year, hey, that happens to a lot of us. Really, it does.
You're
So,
welcome.
good luck with that. All right, so we are on CJ now, who wanted whatever comes out in the cards. So, general. All right.
All right, thanks for that, Zach.
And did I not post the list? I did not post the list.
It's there, CJ Brooks,
Oh,
Angel.
I did. I didn't post the question. All right. There we go. All right. Pulled out this one.
Yep, whatever comes out. Okay, I'll take the Lenormand.
You will.
Mhm. Thank you. Oh, Aries on there twice. Must be because you added her after I already had.
Oh, I guess so. Sorry about that, airy, airy. Don't mean that you're airy, airy.
I could have taken care of that. You didn't have to stop for it.
Oh no, I correct right away. And I'll get Zach's question next time too. Thanks for posting that. Okay, whatever comes. Well, we start with the Seven of Swords upright. You have the Page of Pentacles reversed. Ooh. Hmm. Might let Mr. O tackle this first. It's interesting. Interesting reading. Ace of Wands upright. What do you got?
Gingerbread,
Which is the
heart,
garden.
the garden, and the stars.
Hmm. That is interesting.
Did you want me to go first?
Yeah, I did say that. I don't know if you heard me.
Okay, what was the question? There it is, whatever comes.
Yep.
Um, well, okay. There's something interesting with that Seven of Swords. It may feel like there's a little bit of subterfuge or secrecy going on around you. Maybe you might realize that somebody's trying to keep something from you, or somebody is trying to more or less do something covertly that could affect you. It could be about, taking something from you, whether that's physical or abstract. I think it's more about information because the swords generally tend to be about the mind or thoughts or thinking kind of stuff.
Well, pages are messengers. Number one, the Page of Pentacles, and that's reversed. And then we have the Seven of Swords upright, and the Seven of Swords. Well, I'm seeing an interesting picture here. The Seven of Swords indicates to me be careful what you telegraph at this time to others. Be careful what you say. I mean, especially if, for example, you know, I think in terms of somebody who might be working on a new project or goal, working on something like a new product line for business. And if you telegraph to people what you're doing too soon, your moves, they may try to copy it, they may try to steal it from you, etc. There's a lot of that energy with the Seven of Swords. So I'd be careful here of what you tell others because of a number of reasons. If it's not that, it could generate gossip. Maybe people will start talking and spread spreading things. There's something not right here and something that could come to a stop or a standstill for you by revealing too much at this time. I'm really feeling that way, especially like I said, if you're trying to get something new off the ground, and maybe that's even with a new relationship, for example. Be careful of what you say and do in those early stages. You might turn somebody off, you might, or you might give somebody the wrong idea, whatever the case may be. That's sort of the way I'm going with
Well,
this.
that Ace of Wands does talk like maybe there's some new project, or it could be more, normally a new relationship, a new friendship
Yeah.
kind of thing that's getting off the ground. And maybe there is something going on about that with either gossip or somebody, maneuvering to not exactly be totally honest about something here. Um, the Page of Pentacles reversed does feel like somebody's not seeing something they should, or that some information is tainted or is obscured for some
It's
reason.
disappointing.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
too.
possible too that you might be, if it's not about you, it could be about somebody else, and you're being pulled into this ring of gossip or whatever.
And the gingerbread man is the park, which is the public sphere. So it does
Connections.
talk about, your role with other people you may know, whether it's online or even in an actual physical human group. The card facing it is the stars. That's actually kind of good. That could be saying really that there is more likelihood of things being seen in the light they need to be seen from public opinion. So, in other words, if anything about that Seven of Swords is isolating you, and sometimes gossip, people telling secrets, is a way of people trying to isolate somebody from something else, refer back to the public, refer to other people. Don't be afraid to say, is it really true what so and so says about such and such? I mean, you have to be proprietous in certain ways. You don't want to be, I'm a Scorpio. I'm not worried about being considered a gossip. That's just me. Okay.
Well,
I'll stop now.
I'm not adverse to God. I mean, I personally feel there is some constructive gossip. Sometimes word has to spread about things that are, and is it gossip if it's really true stuff, that's being spread? It's just people might call it gossip because people don't want it spread, right? So suddenly it's gossip. It's not true. They're trying to deny it.
Well, Seven of Swords leads a malicious slant to this idea.
Yeah, it does. And that's what I'm worried about here. But I will say there is a different twist with the Lenormand here. And I feel that it may say here that something positive may come out of this. And I think the positivity comes from people who have your back. There may be people in this situation who have your back, or who have the back of the intended target of the gossip. And I think that, this will help you, this will help guide you in deciding how to deal with this situation. That makes sense at all.
Yeah, well,
That was
certainly
really
was
interesting, I thought. Yeah.
more hopeful kind of advice that we could give you.
Well, I think the advice would be is to stay true to yourself here and be elevated above people who are trying to bring people down, through gossip and stuff. Make sure everything is on the up and up here, but I do feel some of your connections will help you figure out the truth of the matter here and what's really going on. So, wow. Good luck
Hopefully,
with
it's
that.
only as mundane as somebody wanting to find out what the secret recipe for the lasagna was or something. Christmas lasagna.
Christmas lasagna.
Already, well,
Really,
good luck with that
Mr.
too.
O. Good luck with that.
I'm already thinking about making Christmas lasagna.
He is. I've been wanting to make my mac and cheese for a while, but I think I'll save that for winter blues coming in January.
Righty?
Um, I have other plans for Christmas dinner, but that'll be great. He's going to make his lasagna. We're going to have maybe
You're
a,
welcome.
a turkey breast. Oh, it's going to be a good feast this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make up for all those eating out and letting other people feed us. All right, Mr. Rivera is up and he wants an oracle reading. I'm not going to post that, but I know that. And I am, I'm torn between either my crow's tarot or the oracle. I mean, the crow's oracle or the oracle of the trees. And I think I'm going to bring out my oracle of the trees. These can be read upright or reversed.
I've also been mentioning my lasagna at work, but we don't really do like a holiday get together at work. We have a Secret Santa exchange, but we don't necessarily have like a feast or a potluck dinner. I would sort of like that if we did, but we don't. So I don't know if I'll make it for my work crew. It's okay. More for me.
More for us.
Us. Well, one year, oh, this was so long ago, it was early in my lasagna career. Remember, we used to have dinner parties with our friends. We
Yeah.
knew 2 to 3 other couples that we would have, and we all had our children around the same time, that kind of thing. And I made these lasagna roll-ups with shrimp. It was a variation on other kinds of lasagna rolls. It was really good. I liked it.
All right, let's see what we have. Uh-oh. Well, I hope it's a good thing, but I'm not sure. It's the hollow tree, but it's reversed.
Oh,
Number 11. The hollow tree. I'm just going to read the description of it. In the foreground of the card, we see the knotty trunk of a massive tree, standing alone against the backdrop of a typical Italian town surrounded by fields. At the base of the tree, there is a large opening from which flows a freshwater spring. On top of the opening, we can see another big cavity in the trunk of the tree from which an enormous owl, symbol of wisdom, is peeking out, hiding in the safety of the dark shelter. Well, reversed. Let's see. Drawing the hollow tree card reversed sends a warning to be wary of unclear situations and people who are not known well by you, Angel. They should not walk in with blind trust, but should make a careful evaluation. At the same time, the card reminds you to remain vigilant and prepared, and not to let precious opportunities slip away or be stolen. And if you are concerned about matters of the heart, this card can allude to a darker hidden side of the person or interest. Well, I think here clearly there's a couple warnings. Like for example, you've got a new provost. Or you've got a new library director, right? Don't go in there, and if you don't know them well, obviously be a little bit wary, be on your guard a little bit and watch your back. You never know what they may be trying to do or accomplish. And I'm using those as extreme examples, but it could be a new coworker even too. Be a little bit wary of, until you get to know them better. Because some people, as I even found out on a previous job, I'm not going to say which one, but not everybody new that comes in is, a friend. They may have ulterior motives, may want to find out some things about you that they can later use against you. You know how office politics goes, especially in library land. Also, just remain prepared too for any opportunities for advancement and growth to come your way. They could be taken by somebody else too if you're not careful. So this is just a time to be wary and be prepared for things that might be happening. Caution is definitely advised here.
the one above it.
Ah, oh my gosh. No kidding. Power and all that. Well, I'm telling you, And I was talking about somebody else, but in my last job, people came in that I knew right off the bat were very suspect as to why they were there and what their real purposes were. And I really feel a lot of what I felt came out. So do be on your guard. Hey, maybe do some readings on your own, Angel, about this person. What do you have to add to the mix?
Gingerbread,
Oh,
the public,
yeah, or your coworkers.
the anchor.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, the people around you are the ones that can offer you some support and stability
right.
during this time of transition. I think that everybody just sticking together and working together, you'll weather whatever this new provost brings to the table, so to speak. Interesting.
Yes, the gingerbread is the park in regular Lenormand
Yeah.
and pertains to things that are in the social sphere. So it's sort of like it could be the internet, social media, but it could
It,
also be the people you
yeah.
associate with in a neighborhood group or your friend circle, your church, your school, anything like that, really.
And this could also be a sign as, the anchor keeps things safe, stable, and secure. So also maybe you want to be careful with your communications, to your colleagues and peers online, right? So during this time of transition as well. I think people sticking together though, and working for the
Solidarity.
common good is what will benefit you here as well.
All right.
Ooh, so
Good
good
luck.
luck with that. Boy, I didn't think I would call it that a new provost was coming, but that example popped into my head because I've certainly been there. So, yeah.
All right. Good luck, Angel.
Good luck with that. Wow. All right, so we are on Kara, who I think usually posts her question right about when
Yep.
she's up.
Past life reading. So I want you
All
to
right.
determine what the reading will be like.
Well, if it just says a past life reading like Jackie's, I would like to at least get some kind of person in there, a
Okay.
court card.
Direct.
And then from there, whatever comes out after that is fine.
Okay. So, um, am I shuffling the cards and then moving to a court card?
Yes, for the first card, and then just pull the cards after that.
Okay. So that first card, hopefully gives us an idea of what you were, who you were in a past life.
And I kind of leaned with yours, Jackie. I don't know if you were a female in that life. I kind of leaned a little bit with that way with some of the stuff I said, but I'm not completely convinced that's necessarily true. So,
She didn't like the way I did it.
well, I think I got a lot of info out there for you from the cards that were pulled, but I really could not see a person, like if you were male or female. I do feel you lived a long life. I did get kind of that out of it and that it was healthy. And it's largely because temperance, led me that way.
Okay. Alrighty. So Kara wants to know about a past life. And I'm just looking for a court card, right?
Yep.
And it is the reversed Knight of Cups, Knight of Chalices. Okay, so knights are usually people that are moving towards something, and usually if it's cups, then it could be towards, a romantic situation. This could be the card of a person who maybe was mostly not happy in love or lucky in love, that maybe they were often misdirected in love for some reason, or they just didn't have a very fulfilling emotional love life, perhaps.
I will reserve what I say till the other cards are out. I think you could put the three cards out,
Alrighty.
but I think that it will fit in with the rest of them. So
As a cup card, it could have been a water sign.
definitely a water sign. I feel that it could, or water heavily influencing the chart.
Right. Moon in Scorpio or something. All right, so the next two
Yep.
cards is an upright Knight of Wands
Interesting.
and an upright King of Wands.
Wow. So then you end up with three court cards. How interesting.
Okay, so you were a messenger of the King's court.
I think you were a male in this
Yes,
life.
I do too.
There's obviously heavily male influence here.
You were a dude.
You're a dude. And I think you prioritized your power or career over love. Um, I'm not saying you weren't necessarily married and had a successful life therein, but I do feel, well, I won't say successful, that you were married and you had a relationship with someone, but really your focus was not on family and marriage at all. It was more focused on achievement, and it was focused on, what was that last card again?
The King of
The
Wands.
King of Wands, power. You know, power. I feel here that you could have been a tribal leader, or you could have been a governmental leader of some sort, or a leader of some business and industry. But I don't know why. I'm feeling a vibe of a further back vibe with this reading.
I don't know if I am necessarily, but I want to start exploring it. I do feel, like you perhaps, that this past life was in a community or a society where there was prestige based upon who was in charge. So if you weren't actually a king type or trying to be a king type, you may have been trying to be in charge of a particular feature of that society. So, for example, you might have been trying to be a merchant who had power and influence. And King of Wands, Wands is about enterprise and networking. So I could see where maybe you might have been some sort of merchant or craftsperson that had power and influence based on what you were able to do. You were either vetting things. I'm not necessarily going to rule out that maybe you were involved in something that could have been more attached to a monarchy, like maybe you were a knight or somebody who was a knight in waiting.
You know, I usually associate more legal stuff with with swords, but it just seems like you had some power and authority over people here, and you rose up the ranks in some way, which makes me wonder if you weren't, say, maybe like a soldier who then ended up being a leader, in a city state or some kind of a country or city. And I feel here that maybe it could be that the Knight of Cups is here, because I feel here you were very regimented in your way you did things. There wasn't, I feel, a lot of creativity to the things that you did. They were kind of more based on law or protocols or procedures, following rules. I get the feeling here was more about that than any kind of more innovative track that you took. I feel like you lived kind of through adulthood here. I don't know if you lived to a ripe old age. I just feel that you definitely lived through, a good part of adulthood, whatever it was for the era that you lived. I want to throw out the Lenormand right now, Mr. O.
It's the anchor.
I see Sonali came here a little bit late today, Sonali. I am
We
not
did not close the list.
sure. We did not close the list, but I'm not sure I'm going to fit you in or not. I'll take a look at it in a minute. Don't go away. Um, so I want to say here with the anchor and the moon, you achieved some level of stability and success in your life. Now, the moon is twofold. It could indicate love and romance, success there, or success in career. And I feel you've had a successful, highly successful career run for yourself, but it wasn't that successful in the love environment.
I would have to agree with that. I almost got the feeling, maybe in a way, that this life started with you maybe deciding that romance just really wasn't going to be in the cards for you, or not going to be your main pursuit, that it was really more about either your craft. You might have been an artisan of some sort,
That
but
could
i
be.
but i also get the feeling like maybe you ended up being a soldier, or you could have been a soldier, and therefore a leader of people eventually. Still, I think some of your artisan or artful instincts may have remained, and may have been able to come out later in life when you didn't have as many responsibilities of a sort.
Well, we did start our show late today, and we're going to go into a bit of overtime. So I am going to add you, Sonali, but I'm closing the list right now. You will be on the list, but the list is closed after you. No exceptions today. All right. So I'm going to post the list as I have it before I finish up with Kara here. And that is the final list. All
All
right.
right.
So I would just say here you had a very successful career. I really don't think there was any kind of traumatic event or death involved here. Nothing has come up to lead me to believe that. But that doesn't rule out the fact that you might have had an illness or something take you out a little bit earlier than old age. I would say you definitely lived through like the 40s or 50s, but
Which would be long
yeah, which
for
could be
back
wrong
then.
depending on when you lived. So, and I can't really say when this was. I could feel it could go back a ways, but like pre 1500s even. But I do think it's not much older than, say, like what would start the Renaissance era?
1500s.
Yeah, 1500s, maybe 1500s forward.
I'm thinking it's around there, but it could be a little forward from there.
Yeah. So that's the best we can do, it's just tarot. I'm not getting a good beat on kind of things like location and things like that.
I think more likely than not, it may have been in more of the Western world. I don't think you were in
Yeah.
Asia or Africa necessarily,
Or
or the
European
Americas.
world, maybe.
But
Yeah.
it's just a feeling. So
Good
who
luck with
knows?
that.
It
Hope you enjoyed that.
was entertaining. And thank you for your compliment, CJ. Yeah, we do past life readings sometimes. Actually, we've had over the years two or three different past life reading shows where our format was just about past life readings.
Because we have some decks that we use, they're oracle decks that give a little background on different eras, ways you've died. I mean, they go into a lot of things about past
We've
lives.
had a lot of fun with that.
But we don't use them on the show specifically. We do special show for that. But we're happy to delve into that, questions about past lives here
Right.
and see what the tarot can tell us.
We're
All
on
right, we're on
Jamie's.
Jamie's Cowboys now. And I may have missed it, but I don't have a question for Jamie. Well, I can only think I have, even though I'm Polish ancestry, I'm very attached to Ireland in my thinking. I keep thinking I had a past life in Ireland. I have some visions of what I think is of Ireland, an Ireland I was in. I can't even give an era per se. And I do feel that I was in Central or South America sometime in a past life as well. And I have a lot of affinity towards Asia. I really can't say why there either, but That's the best I can do for myself.
Jamie's wants a general reading.
All right.
Yeah, all
Thank
right.
you, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie's.
My deck, right? Yeah.
Didn't you just do one?
Oh, did we use my Book of Hours for that one?
Well, you did have
I guess so.
the Oracle.
Well, I didn't do an oracle. We did the past life. That was your cards for the past life.
Okay,
Because I did the anchor and
I have a deck.
got the deck. All right, general reading for Jamie. Let's see what we get here.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. No kidding. Huh.
Well, we should do one again. It's really hard, though, sometimes to fit these things in. I have plans for a show, and I really need to work on it because it would have to happen soon if I'm really going to start this off on
I'm
the
hoping
right
to find a
foot.
way to clear some time away for some of these kind of projects. Um, cutting out some of the things I'm no longer going to be doing in the near future. We'll just have to see.
All right. Oh, that just wanted a cut there. All right. Let's see what we have. Well, we start with the Page of Wands reversed. Dang it. We have the Two of Cups reversed. I have thoughts on what I'm seeing already here. And the Four of Swords is reversed, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see what else Mr. O has to offer here.
The storybook, which is the book, and home, which is the house. Every house should be a home.
Okay. All right, so and the Two of Cups reversed. I feel here I could go two ways with this reading, and so I don't want to discount that something romantic is not involved here, but failing that, I just want to start with what popped into my head first. And I feel here it may be hard trying to get something off the ground right now because you are split on what you want to do. You're of two minds about this situation. So I guess I could go into the other thing too. So whether this is about a relationship or a project or goal or something you feel you need to be doing right now or getting underway, you really are kind of torn as to how to approach it. There's a part of you that wants to react one way and a part of you that wants to go another way.
And it may be that the part that wants to go one way really wants to sort of go full speed or to some degree really like just charge at it. Another part maybe is wanting to think about strategies or think about whether or not it is in fact the right time to do that. I agree with Banshee's assessment here. I wonder if it's possible too, because I know that you recently rekindled a friendship that had kind of fallen aside. I'm wondering if there still are any questions there about that.
I can't
That's
rule
that
that out.
cups reverse. Like maybe there's just a little bit of roughness in getting back in alignment with that friendship.
Yeah, that's why I brought up relationship or something else. And, with that four, I didn't address the Four of Swords yet. I feel here you really need to put your energy into trying to figure out which way you really want to go here, trying to sort this out. And I think that's where the Lenormand comes into play too. You've got the home here. You have to determine, you have to do some research or figure it out, really dig deep, really decide why you're torn about this to begin with and how to reconcile this and how to make yourself feel comfortable with the direction you need to take.
Right. If there are two sides to this question or this involvement, a part of that really will involve you deciding what makes you feel comfortable. And it may be that you might have to really realize that there are parts when you look into it. that you just not sure you can deal with, and maybe you have to move accordingly from that too. Maybe there is something here that doesn't make you feel totally comfortable, and you need to be able to acknowledge that or own up to that.
This is an absolutely gorgeous deck. I do love it. I really do. So that's what we have for you. I hope that gives you obviously something, either if you don't know what this is now, something is coming that is going to kind of make you split on what you really need to do here. So good luck with that.
All right, good luck.
Gosh, I love this deck.
All right, we're
Called
on Zach.
Earth, Bonestone and Earthcraft. And I believe it was published maybe in a smaller market. And this is a second publishing of it because I don't ever recall seeing this anywhere. Maybe it was published under another name, but they didn't say that when I bought it. I wish publishers would be giving more information on things, particularly when AI is involved, because, we've made some blunders and bought some AI decks. We're not that much into AI. But, we support a lot of creators. It's not like we haven't been. So,
All right, we are on Zach, and Zach says continuing their path.
oh, I've got this. I'll put it out there.
Well, I'm
Zach
looking
is
right
up,
at it.
and we've got your question.
I was right there reading it, and then you stopped.
You know what? I can only hear part of that, so I'm just going to post it again.
Oh, it's
My bad ear faces you.
it's my fault.
My bad ear.
It was my fault.
You have that tone sometimes that I cannot.
Hi,
What?
Zach. We're doing.
Oh, your question's too big for me to post, but let me get rid of some of it. I think that's all I need to do. There we go. All right. What revelations and direction does spirit ancestors need me to hear for this mid-December coming, step by step, moment to moment? So revelations and directions. Let's see what we get.
Is that your reading or?
It could be. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm missing the Lenormand.
No, we're not.
Thank you.
Right. So we open with that basic question: what revelations, directions do spirits or ancestors need you to hear for this mid-December? And the first card is the reversed King of Swords.
So the revelation, the King of Swords, the revelation, and it's upright?
Reversed.
It's reversed. Okay, the revelation is that maybe you need to give more thought to, towards what you need to move forward on. Maybe right now it's not very clear to you. Maybe you've got a few ideas in your mind. Maybe you're kind of scattering your thoughts a little bit. And I think your ancestors and spirits want you to focus your intent more on what's most important to you right now. And also, if you really cannot think clearly about this right now, then give it some more space and time. Don't just start doing things without a clear purpose or strategy in place.
Spirit is giving a caution here, saying that do be careful, because where you think you want to go or where you think a revelation may lead you, you want to tread carefully. You don't want to necessarily force your way in up front. You might want to check it out. It seems to me like what this is saying is this revelation could lead you to go in different ways that could have very different effects. There could be a sense of consequences if you push or force things too forcefully in a way.
I like that. So, why is this important?
And it's the Four of Wands upright.
Because you want to build a solid foundation for what it is you are trying to do. You want to make sure your ancestors in particular want you to build well so you don't have, it's like so you can avoid a tower moment, for example, where everything just falls apart. So you want to build this well, sturdy and strong. And to do that, you need more clarity of mind, a clear purpose, and a strategy to move forward and build this well.
I really like what Banshee said here. Uh, it made me feel like, especially when she said it, like the Four Wands is technically the opposite or the best outcome of the Tower. This is saying
Yeah.
this is something really that's built to last, built to contain what it needs to contain. The Four Wands really represents the idea of what you can accomplish with what you are working with. It's sort of like the harvest, like you did all this work and now you are reaping the reward.
And yeah, it almost sounds to me here like this is something that you want to build to last. I mean, or spirit, maybe ancestors are saying, this should be a lasting testimonial or a destiny of yours in some way that you are working on here. So, where are things headed?
It's the upright two of cups. So, my friend Zach, are you getting involved in a relationship or are you building a relationship or partnership in this process, and it relies heavily upon really people communicating freely, openly from their heart, trust and harmony, all that? It could be either of those, I suppose.
Wow, this could really be a lot of things, actually. Clearly, you could be building a relationship looking for, maybe you're ready to settle down and get married, or maybe you're looking for a partner that could grow into that, and build this foundation over time. Or maybe you're looking for the right place to land yourself, the career, the goal that meshes with your true purpose and identity.
I like that.
And also, I think here, wow, this could also be saying that your allies and your ancestors want you to know they are partners with you on this venture. That's why I think this could be something like more long term for you, Zach. It's very interesting to me. And you ask for step by step. So I say, come up with the plan, then work on ways to implement it and build it strong and secure and steady. You need to put yourself all in on this and make sure you're serious about building something that is going to last the tests of time for you. And that means, like, if you're a student and this is about getting through school, I pull the book as I talk about student and school.
The storybook and the goldfish, the book and the fish.
So, if you want an abundantly successful life, abundantly successful relationship, an abundantly successful future, I think you need to really do the work here and really put in the effort to map this out, If you need to do a vision board, maybe you're already partially there. Maybe Spirit is saying that, but I feel with the king reversed here, Spirit is saying you need more work here. You need more work to plan this right before or it won't be built as solidly as you had hoped.
All right.
So do the research, do the work, really think about a strategy, write down your goals, put together how you feel that they should be, implemented and enacted. Do a list and follow through on the steps you need to take. It's a very interesting question, and I hope we gave you some ideas here,
All
Zach.
right, Zach.
Good luck with that. I have a feeling you talked about mid-December, but this is like some long-term stuff going on here. Maybe the planning and And the strategizing really needs to get into kicked into full gear in December. All right, Marita is up. And Marita's question is, what's ahead? What's coming? What is coming? Okay. My duck, I know. I need a cough drop, though I'm feeling a little froggy. I did that one. I didn't do the Nightmare Before Christmas yet, I don't think. Ah, okay. So since it's the week ahead, it's specific, I think we'll do my reading for that one. We've been doing it a lot today, but I think we'll focus it on what's coming in the week ahead.
Okay.
The Page of Swords is here. Actually, I did use this deck already, didn't I? It seems familiar. Yeah, I remember the candles and all that.
Okay, so this is or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's coming towards you? The Page of Needles upright, the Page of Swords, a lot of communication in this week ahead. Connecting with others in this week ahead might be important.
This is a week or a time where you find you're gonna feel more clever in certain ways, or you're gonna try to find ways to use a cleverness, whether it's in associations at work or with friends. Some of this maybe too is that it's an exciting time of the year, and so sometimes people say things that they don't necessarily mean to. You're on your guard to try to be more tactful and diplomatic. You might actually find ways to smooth over little tiffs or things between other people. You're just really good articulating at this time.
I really like that too. You know, the Page of Swords could indicate to me that maybe you might be able to solve a problem this week that's been causing you some difficulties or concerns, come up with answers to things. This is a week where you'll be active mentally. You know, it's a very stimulating, engaging week, either for dialogue or, for mental activities. So, why is this important? Well, you have the Four of Wands upright as well. The Four of Candles is here. And I'm going to go in a little bit of different direction with this. I feel it's important because something will give you, that maybe whatever this activity is will give you a reason to celebrate this week, some success. Maybe there's a successful outcome to something you've been working on, a successful solution to a problem. Something good comes out of this communication with others, perhaps.
I don't know. I wonder, like, if you're in an office situation or in a neighborhood friend situation, you're maybe helping somebody pull plans together for
An
a
office.
gathering, a holiday event, a holiday party for the group or whatever.
That could be. This could be about some joyous occasion. I can't rule that out. And where are things headed? Well, everything's upright in this reading, and now we have the Six of Swords upright. So the Six of Swords indicates upright, really smooth sailing this week. That where this is all leading you is to some contentment, some happiness. It almost seems like by week's end, it's putting you in a better place or a better position.
Well, sometimes this is the time of the year where people feel they get a little bit more depressed because of sunlight and things like that. This could be saying, too, that if this is happening, this idea of drumming up interest or trying to, bring people together, it it takes you away from, this situation of depression, to, light a candle and, celebrate whatever you want to celebrate. So it is really, I think, leading you towards the appreciation of, celebrating your time with people in whatever form. All right, so now I'm going to throw out the Lenormand, and it's the Snow Lady, which could be you, Marita. Um, and it's the reindeer who is the rider. So it sort of reinforces the idea of that page of swords there. Like maybe you are going to be kind of a driving force or moving force in whatever this is, whether it's trying to, get a party together or help people with a party, or just some sort of involvement, maybe that's timely and about the holidays.
Well, that Page of Swords, which you started with, is definitely there's something up here. There's a lot of movement for you this week, an activity. I think that the writers indicate maybe some messages. Again, the writer can be about receiving messages. And I really feel this is going to be an active week for you for engaging with others. And maybe that's magnifying that as well. You're going to be talking to a lot of people this week and this week ahead. And it's going to be constructive. It's definitely going to be constructive. It all looks good.
So good luck.
Good luck with that. And we're on Airy.
Mm-hmm. And Ari asked about someone from the past.
Yes, I have that too.
Already.
All right. Let me get that out there. Can you tell me why Jason stopped texting me completely? He started to become less consistent months ago, but for months he hasn't been texting me at all. Wow. All right. Let's see if we can figure something out about that.
Regular 3 cards.
I think so.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thought I had a.
I see.
I guess I didn't. Okay.
I hope he's okay. I mean, what if, like, something happened and you don't know because he's not in contact?
Our personal trainer vanished.
Yeah.
They claim they don't know what happened to him at our place, and I'm so disappointed. They think he might be out of state, and I suddenly had this horrible fear. What if ice took him or something weird like that?
We don't know.
But
Nobody
we don't
seems to know.
have any, and it's very odd to me the way this happened. But I have to say, a lot of people these days ghost their employers. They just leave without saying anything. They claim they didn't fire him, but they probably wouldn't tell us if they did. So we're just left in a lurch, and I'm feeling very depressed about it.
Regarding his possible ethnicity, he looks like somebody that maybe they might want to suspect is too brown, whatever.
Yeah, our gym trainer, and he was excellent. He alluded to something to us, though, that he didn't get one of his certifications renewed. So maybe he just vanished after that. I thought he said he had it under control. And he made us feel that he was going to be at this place for a few years. He didn't plan on going anywhere. And so the fact that he just disappeared like this is really kind of surprising to us.
We had him for at least a year now, right?
Over
a year, yeah.
I think just over a year now. Yeah.
Really
Maybe
liked
two.
him.
Oh my gosh, he was so good. I don't want to start from scratch again.
Yeah.
I'm so devastated by this right now.
All right, Ari. Your first card is the reversed Queen of Chalices. That's the Queen of Cups. Oh, I'm getting a vibe from that. And then we have the upright Five of Wands and the reversed Page of Swords. So there's a bit of a tale here, I think.
All right, I'm going to have to catch that again because I was thinking about the trainer.
Reversed Queen of Cups,
Okay.
upright Five of Wands, reversed Page of Swords.
Five of Wands is upright too?
Yes.
Oh. So the Queen of Cups upright. Or reversed. Um, I feel like there's something they were disappointed in you in, or it's possible, I will just say this, Ari, it may not be you. It may be the fact that something has gone south in their life and they're going through a rough, just emotional time right now. Maybe they pulled back from that reason for that reason. Um, or it could be, I just have to say it could be that they were kind of disappointed in you for some reason.
Well, Ari mentions the other woman, so maybe Ari was aware that there was another woman for that person. But to me, when I look at the Queen of Cups reversed, Ari, I sort of feel like it's somebody who is emotionally not secure. And so maybe Jason is just going through something right now that has him really fritzing emotionally. It could be something to do with a romance he's in, another woman, or some other situation that just really has him emotionally upset.
He is upset. We have the Five of Wands here. And so something is upsetting him. And I don't know what it is. If you claim you have not had a fight or argument with him, it seems as though he's embroiled in some type of conflicts or disagreements and he's pulling back. He may be withdrawing emotionally from people.
I don't even know if it's even about you. I mean,
Right.
I don't know how deep of a friendship that was, but sometimes people just, something bad happens and they just sort of pull back from everybody. I think especially with some younger people, but even in our age cohort, sometimes people just say, I'm done, and they don't even say goodbye.
Well, it's like with our trainer. If he was going to leave either because he didn't get his certification or, he could have said something to them, but they're acting like he never said anything to them either and he just disappeared. And I think we see that nowadays. A lot of people do stuff like that. So it's possible too. They just didn't want to risk a confrontation with you. They just dropped you.
Maybe that's it.
I can't
Um,
rule it out.
I think that ghosting is the new form of a Dear John letter. And if you remember, Dear John letter was when you got dumped, so it could be a Dear Joanne letter if you got dumped by, a dude. But
It doesn't seem completely right. So I'm leaning more towards the idea, Ari, that this could be something else going on in their life and they just don't want to, they may be withdrawing from more than just you. There may be other people that they're withdrawing from too. But if you do know they're communicating with other friends of yours or acquaintances, then I don't know.
did we talk about that reverse Page of Swords?
We did not yet. Um, That seems like a break in communications there, right there. Um,
Or he feels like being deceptive about communicating, not necessarily with you, but in general, like he just sort of is got some sort of contrary feeling about being upfront.
I like what you're saying there because the Page of Swords sometimes can be, when reversed, can be looked at as being an imposter of some sort. He's hiding something. So he's hiding something from you, and he didn't want to deal with you anymore or talk to you anymore. And it may not be about you. It just might be that you might not be the only one he's doing this to.
Lenormand.
Yes, I don't know. I've been shuffling and shuffling here and thinking about this, and
Yeah, a lot of times, sometimes we think we're more important to people than what we really are. And I hate for that to be true in this case, but it could be that, you were more attached to him concept as a friend than he was to you. Or sadly, but we're not seeing it here, something really dramatic happened that has kind of pulled him out of the act altogether.
here,
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. The stork. Moving on.
I don't know whether he's got new friends or maybe he's trying to get a new relationship going with somebody, which is why he dropped you. But the kitten means like the dog and the stork. He's changing, he's moving on to new associations, possibly.
I agree with you, but I think this is the problem with the world now, especially with the fact that if a lot of this communication happens through the internet or through something that's just a little bit more removed, it's the anonymity feature. Maybe you know him in real life, but it's easier for him to just never text you anymore. You know that thing.
You know, many, many years ago, Um, we had a friend, we were concerned, and it wasn't just us. We were concerned about this friend and their child because their child seemed developmentally slow. And, it was embarrassing confronting the situation, but we just wanted to know what was going on, all of us. And they took it personally and they literally cut us all off.
I often feel though that, and we were two of the six of us were nurses, and so
Yes, I
they
think.
kind of knew what we were talking about. And to me though, one of the other persons acted without maybe the full skinny here. I think that person just sort of went to them and said that, and that was a big part of why they did that.
Yeah, they cut us all off, and it was really unfortunate. We were not making fun or we were
We cared
concerned, and we wanted to know if there was anything,
we could do.
that they should be looking into. And they took it the wrong way, but of course, it came from one of the nurses, and maybe they felt that they were being looked at as being bad parents, which was the
Not,
furthest from what we felt. But see how things can be taken out of context and life altering decisions can be made. And so, whatever happened here, it almost sounds like they seem to either be moving on or trying to find new associations now.
our best advice would be to try not to get, more involved in it. They're not involved in it. I don't
So,
feel as bad.
geez, Ari.
So
Wow, that's terrible. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
it
Maybe he deleted his socials. That's just it too. People. Well, and who knows what's going on in somebody's personal life if they don't let you in. If they don't let you in, it could be something going on that they just decided I need to pull back from everything right now. I won't say never with this. You never know if he might come back, but it doesn't look really likely, from the reading that we did. So I wish you luck with that.
right. Okay.
Oh, yeah, some of these hot button issues, you can really stir something up. Hey, I don't care. I put my neck out there. I put my neck out there to get chopped off. So, but I can see why that would happen. All right.
We're on Sonali.
We're on Sonali, our last reading.
General love.
General Love. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. O. Um, yeah, because I didn't put that one down. All right, Sonali, we'll get it for you. I'm going to use my food deck.
I love food. You're welcome. I wish I could tell you why people do these things. And I wish I could say, yeah, I agree with you, but people are going to do what people do.
Yeah. I'll never understand why the trainer did it. Now, if they did fire him, it's possible he was told not to connect with anybody that was his training. And the thing is, we have his phone. We tried to text him. He never responded. So, but it could mean a lot of things. Was he in an accident in a hospital? They led us to believe the possibility that he could even be out of state right now. And we were kind of shocked by that. I was, and that's why I thought, oh gosh, did I grab him and move him to some facility? You know, you just have to look like a person who doesn't belong here for ICE to grab you now, and that's kind of creepy. So I don't know. All right, general in love. Let's see if we get any kind of good stuff here. All right. Well, we have the Five of Cups reversed, and that is hopeful. You know, lemonade can be bitter. And when the Five of Cups is upright, it's kind of like that. We'll get to that in a minute. When it's reversed, it's a little bit of a different story. And we have the Ace of Swords upright here. I like that. Hmm. And I certainly love mushrooms being the devil. It's reversed, though, which is good too.
The greeting card,
And the
the letter, and the cross, which is the candy cane.
what?
Yeah.
Ah, well, it's a mixed bag kind of reading. Um, I feel here with the Five of Cups reversed, this is a time to be open to new opportunities to allow love into your life. It's possible you could get some invitations or some notices from people. If you are already involved with someone and you're concerned about where things are headed, I think things might be healing or heading in a better direction now.
Well, sometimes the Five of Cups means that maybe somebody who was known by you before maybe is returning and
That
coming
could
back.
be. I like that.
This could be a relationship from the past, but maybe it's just somebody you knew and now the circumstances are a little different or something like that. Um, and I sort of feel like that maybe challenges you to be a little more assertive. That's the Ace of Swords, that maybe if it didn't quite go the full distance before, maybe this is the time where it might.
Right, the Ace of Swords indicates something that could turn out well for you in the romantic department. I mean, if you're seeking to start something, I mean, to be open to invitations that come to you could lead to something, a big victory for you, the start of something that could be a good thing for you going forward. The
Death reverse.
Death reversed again speaks of freeing, making sure though that you don't come. I think here is like you might meet somebody who will liberate you from the feelings you've had that have been holding you back from expressing love, maybe. This is a time where you could trust more, I think. And also, but I would say one thing the devil, whether it's upright or reversed, I always feel there's a little bit of a caveat here. Make sure the person that you are getting involved with is somebody who's going to treat you well and not somebody who's going to want you to be totally dependent on them. In other words, you want to have your own life a little bit too. You have your own goals, your own desires, what you want out of the relationship. You don't want to be totally dominated by someone.
It could be that moving towards this relationship or this thing happening, and maybe it's the sense of you being assertive about it to the degree that you can or will, is liberating you in a way too, is sort of, taking you away from feeling like you have no agency here or you have no ability to move forward. It sort of is tackling inertia you may have felt in a sense of all your relationships, or certainly with, kind of more emotional, loving kind of relationships.
Yeah, and with the cross and the 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 letter, okay, I will say this. You need to be open to what's coming your way. You know, there could be something coming your way, invitations, etc. Now, not all of them may be what you're looking for, okay? You've really got to be discerning here and make sure that the person is right for you. That, like I said, that devil's kind of warbly to me here, because you don't want any long-term grief, you know, to come your way because you've matched yourself up with the wrong kind of person. I feel that you might get more than one invitation or suitor, Sonali, and you really are going to have to think your way through this and determine who's really right for you. And, you know, be wary that not everybody who you meet at face value are who they say they are. So you really have to get to know them more. I think that's the key as well.
I like what you're saying there because I think this is a process really of realizing that a certain amount of initiative is needed by you, but to be careful that you're not necessarily overwhelmed by a smooth talker or somebody
Or
else.
passion or your attraction to the person,
Hmm.
because you might be missing some key things here. In other words, vet them well, you
Yeah,
know, look at them and make sure they're right for you.
I think that's the final idea with the cross and the letter too, that it's sort of a way of saying, you know, you need to know more about them, the letter, you know, it's sort of like finding out.
I'm hoping this is true. It sounds like things are
Good
positive,
luck.
you know, moving in a better direction for you overall. So good if you're looking. So good luck with that.
Good luck.
And that's it. We're done.
We're done.
All right. Well,
Excellent.
that made up for some of the time we were late, and I do
Oh, yeah.
apologize for that. But it was nice to get some of the lists together before the show, before I got started with the show, and I appreciated the people that left questions in advance. So thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody for stopping in. It's been a great show today.
It has.
Good questions, some really interesting readings, I thought as well.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so hey,
We
until we
will be
meet
back.
again, take care, and we hope to see you at our next live show or maybe at our happy hour on Saturday.
Thank you,
Have a great
everybody.
rest of your day and evening.
Bye bye.
See you soon.